welcome. I'm Christy. Let's take a nice full breath. Settling into your spot. Observe how you are in this moment. What are you feeling in the body? Think about something that you're grateful for. And then take another full breath. Practice Nadi Shodhana. So again, you can use thumb, index finger, thumb and ring finger. Fingers can either fold down or you can let those, if you're using thumb and ring finger, you can let the index and the middle finger just kind of touch that third eye spot there. So whatever's feeling it. Today I'm not feeling fingers bent down. That doesn't seem right for me today. So I'm gonna do fingers on the third eye. So close off your right nostril. Take an inhale through the left nostril. Close off the left nostril, exhale through your right. Inhale through the right. Exhale through the left. Inhale left. And then we're going to change, exhale, inhale, change, exhale, inhale. Exhale and an inhale on each side. Next time you get to a left exhale, we're going to let it go. And then notice how you feel now. Did anything shift at all? And then was it a shift for the better or not? So it's really witnessing what's happening in our practice. Keep trying to find what's right in the moment to help us take care of ourselves. All right, another full breath. And then we're gonna bring it into butterfly pose. So we're gonna try to hold, I'm gonna see personally how this goes for me today. So obviously, you're watching a video, you can fast forward, you can pause at any point. I'm going to shoot for 5 minutes here, but I'm not really sure how that's going to go. If you have blocks, that could be super duper helpful. Butterfly, we've got the soles of the feet together and they're out a little bit from the body. So cobblers, we're pulling the feet in. Butterfly, we want the feet to slide out. We're rounding the back and letting the head drop down. So here's where You know, you might put something underneath your head. Even if you're able to go lower, right, you might decide it's better to be up a little bit higher, and then your head can just be, your head and your neck can be supported there. Really more about the neck than the head. And then we just want to slow down the breath here. So feeling the breath, I'm going to start the timer here. Feeling the breath. Let yourself come out of the pose, or sometimes it's even just this little lifting up during the process and settling back in a bit. Try to slow down the breath, let the body soften. Let's see if there's any little subtle shifts you want to make, even right here, as we're just getting into the pose. If it's helpful to keep your mind focused and just off of the daily things that occupy our minds, you can visualize yourself someplace else. So for me, beach is usually a happy place, so I'm just going to use that as an example. So you might visualize yourself on the beach. Imagine all the colors, the color of the sand, the sky, the water, the sun, the clouds. If there's any plant life, birds. So you can just try to take your mind through that scene. What are the sounds around you? What does it smell like? Trying to really feel yourself in that place. Imagine that you're just relaxing there, letting go. Again, paying attention to how you are. Alright, we've got 1 minute left. So if you're not feeling okay here, come out. This is all about taking care of yourself. It's not about staying in the pose for X amount of time. I'm trying to find the amount of time that's beneficial. you're still in the pose, slowly make your way up. Oh, I didn't tell you what to do if you already came out of the pose. All right, so you're gonna come out slowly. And just see how things are feeling. So it can feel like things don't want to move sometimes. It can feel a little vulnerable to move after we've been in those poses for a long time. And then I like to allow this space for whatever you need. So if you need to stretch out on your back, go out onto your back, maybe hug your knees in. I'm thinking cat and dog, or maybe a child's pose. And just exploring. So child's pose, you're bringing your head down, hips are back towards your heels. If you're gonna do cat and dog, then you're on hands and knees, rounding the spine. So head and tailbone are dropping down, the spine is lifting up towards the ceiling. And then dog, the spine drops down towards the floor. I'm going to bend my elbows here today. Just let my head and my chest come a little lower to the floor. Oh, good. I got a nice little crack in my back there. And then you can straighten your arms and let your head come up. So try to get that sway back, letting your spine drop down towards the floor. And then when you're ready, you're going to round it back into a cat. And into a dog. So I'm on my blanket instead of my yoga mat here. I'm gonna try, I don't think I can do a down dog for very long, but I'm gonna try and see if I can fake it, if I do a shorter stance. All right, maybe I'm gonna try a wide leg. All right, I'm gonna take my feet out wide and stretch my arms out. So a wide leg down dog for me because I'm not in my sticky mat. So I can get this little lengthening of the spine. We're just in that rounded shape, so now I'm getting more of a flat back here. All right, and then I'm going to try to come down not too that was not very graceful, but it wasn't too ungraceful either. All right, so coming on down. Too klutzy, I guess is what that would be. All right, let's do wide legs. So again, you might want a block or two. Sorry for the crunching. All right, we've got feet out wide. And we're gonna fold in. So you can find wherever your spot is. Blocks help give you, a little bit of a midpoint. And if things are tight, you might want some elevation under your hips. And you might want to have your blocks on the tall end if you have them, and hang out. And so as we go, again, maybe you're gonna back up at some point. Maybe you're gonna come in a little bit lower. Maybe come back to visualizing a happy, comfortable place. Or you can count your breath. Is another great way to keep the mind occupied. And when you lose track of the counting, you just go back and start at 1. So you can either count the full round of breath, or you can count, inhale maybe is 1, exhale is 2, inhale is 3, exhale is 4. Just let it be natural, like whatever feels right for you. back up out of that pose if you're still there. Ah. All right, moving whatever way you need to. Now we're going to try to go onto our backs. And we're going to do a reclining pigeon. So reclining pigeon, you can do like, so sometimes, oh, I forgot, I moved furniture around. Okay, so this rickety old table has to go, but it's not steady enough to put your foot up on. So if you're close enough to a wall, you know, you can do a reclining pigeon where you bring both feet up on the wall and then you bring one ankle on top of the other thigh, then you let that raised foot slide down so the sole of the foot's on the wall. So that way you can have your arms stretch out. So I don't have any, I used to put my foot in the bookcase that was there, but that's not there anymore. All right, coming on to the back. So I'm just gonna let my legs drop to the side here because I don't wanna hold my legs for 5 minutes. So if you're not on your back yet, come on down. I'm gonna do my hinky sideways roll and I'm gonna keep my head propped again just because of my vertigo issues. Better to have my head up. I'll be sorry later. So adjust to being on your back. Let's pull knees in a little bit, rock from side to side. And then maybe a happy baby, reaching for feet. No, that's too much after that wide leg fold. I'm not doing that. If you're okay there, grab your feet. That is a little too much. Let's do a quick twist too. We're gonna do arms out at shoulder height. And we're just gonna take the legs over to the right side. Take a couple of breaths. And then we're going to take it to the other side, back through center. We're going to drop those legs over to the left side. All right, and then we're going to come back to center. So a reclining pigeon, you begin with both feet on the floor. Again, if you're doing it at a wall, feet up the wall, ankle on the thigh, and then let that left foot slide down the wall. So on the floor, you know, so typically we do, you know, if it's accessible, you're holding the left leg here with your right ankle on top of your left thigh. So 5 minutes is a long time for, I think, for your fingers and even your shoulders. It starts to be just a little bit stressful. And so since this is stress release yoga, I'm going to suggest instead that you have this left foot on the floor and then you let your legs drop over to your right side. Sometimes I feel like this foot slides, so I often will just kind of put my hand on there and kind of keep it in place. If you want a pillow or, again, another yoga block underneath the legs, you can do that. Take a nice breath. And then we're going to sink it. So the other thing I like about, just like with the feet up the wall, letting the legs drop to the side, is that then you can stretch your shoulders out. Maybe arms come past your head for part of the time. Try to find where your neck is comfortable. And then using your breath. You can also use a mantra. So a simple mantra is Om. But it may be something, like today I'm feeling like for me, I'm feeling like it's let go. May be helpful for me in just softening. I can feel a lot of tension in my low back this week. I've been feeling a lot of tension there. So sometimes just that phrase, let go, as I exhale, is really helpful for me in getting the body to relax a little bit more. So you may want to just kind of let your legs slide. So if you've got feet up the wall, maybe just let your legs kind of come up the wall, and then you may want to hug your knees in a little bit. If you're here where I am, just let this right leg slide out. Again, slow and easy. I'm finding it's feeling good to move my foot around. Maybe I'm gonna bring both legs up into the air. So this is, again, it's all trial and error. Trying to use your intuition about what's gonna feel right for your body. Like, how is that in your hips and in your back? So where you are may be completely different, and maybe you feel like you need a little more movement. It could be a little kicking of the legs, or maybe you just want to be with your legs stretched out straight. Oh, that feels nice too. And then arms can come past your head, wiggling your toes. And then can you feel a difference between the legs? So today too, I have it's very subtle for me. It's not a huge difference, but it's like this leg just feels a little, I don't know, it's like a little bit lighter, but also a little more alive, like the energy is flowing through that right leg now. And this leg just feels a little more dead, right? Just like a little dead weight there, like a little bit heavier. Okay, we're gonna take it into the second side. So good, if you're doing legs up the wall, bring your left ankle on your right thigh, let your right foot slide down the wall. If you're doing it from the floor, left ankle on right thigh, and then we're gonna let the legs drop over to the right side. So if your foot's sliding, maybe just hold it with your hand. Take a big breath. And then what you're focusing your mind on might change. So if you're using a word, a mantra, a phrase, maybe that's going to shift now. So now I'm thinking maybe I'm going to use more, maybe ease or softness. And you can play around with different words, maybe happiness or joy. See what kind of feels right in this moment. inside out. So then you had feet on the floor, maybe bringing legs up into the air, rotating your feet. Maybe a little bit of leg movement, feet going away from each other and back in. So sometimes after stillness, right, just a little bit of gentle movement. And then let your legs come down. Bring your arms past your head. And now how do the legs feel? So now my legs feel more balanced, right? So when we did the first set, I could feel that difference between the legs. And now they feel relatively even. You feel happier too, so hopefully you're feeling some of that too. Like there's just a greater sense of like ease in my legs. Right, a lot of that heaviness, stiffness, tightness has released out. Okay, we're gonna take it into a cat pulling its tail. So again, I'm not sure I can do 5 minutes in this, but we'll see. I think I'm gonna roll to my left because I think you'll be able to see a little bit more of how the pose goes. So you're keeping the left leg straight, you're gonna roll to your left side and the right leg comes across. Okay, let me do it this way too. So if you're rolling to your side, the top leg comes over. I'm not usually able to keep my leg straight, it'll usually start to drift, and that's fine. But okay, so I'm gonna roll to my left leg straight, right leg's gonna come across. The right leg's coming across the left leg. And then I'm gonna take my left toes and see if I can move this left leg back a little farther. So the front of the hip bone and the top of that left thigh start to turn down a little more towards the floor. I'm going to change my rock here. Now not everybody needs something under their head. I usually do in this pose, even pre-vertigo. Okay, so optional to get the foot. So if you're able to get the foot, you're holding onto your foot or your ankle and you're letting that right shoulder blade or that top shoulder blade drop down towards the floor. So this is sort of questionable on my lower back. All right, so the timer started. I'm not sure either this is going to help my low back let go in a couple of breaths, or I'm going to let go of my foot and just kind of ease up on the pose. I'm not completely sure yet. So try to find where your head is comfortable. Some people can really get the shoulder blade all the way down to the floor and head rolling to that opposite side or towards the back foot side. I usually cannot. So maybe here, focus a little bit more on the breath. So if this is intense for you like it is for me, maybe try to really feel the body expanding and contracting as you breathe. Working on softening with those exhales. So I can actually feel my lower back is already starting to let go, which is awesome. That doesn't always happen for me. Some days it just becomes clear very quickly that it's too intense. And I still may let go of this foot at some point. But right now I feel like I feel like this is a beneficial place to be. So I can still feel some tension in my left hip and thigh. But I can feel the low back becoming more comfortable. On your breath and imagining those intense thoughts letting go. good to go here. Side slow and easy. So if you still have that foot, let it go, let that leg straighten out, take your time. Coming back. Oh. Ah. Alright, hips are like, okay, take your time, don't move too fast. So I'm just gonna take a few breaths. Alright, so they got they got into like their happy place in that pose, and then I moved and they're like, okay, give us time to adjust to being in a different place now. Alright, so maybe let's see. Alright, I'm gonna try to bring, oh yeah, that feels good. One knee in at a time. That little squeeze in. And then the other knee. Alright, so we're gonna take it into the second side. So now I'm rolling to my right. Whichever side you're going to, you're just rolling to that side. So the top leg's gonna come over across the bottom leg. And then that bottom leg, you're gonna take the toes and try to move that leg backward a bit. So again, it's like this, like the front of that thigh is starting to turn down towards the floor. And then see how it is to hold the foot on this side. Yeah, you might need a couple of deeper breaths here. So then it's that process of trying to soften into your pose, letting go into the floor. straighten out. All right, so I'm gonna pause here on my side before I move to my back. So I'm just gonna let my hips kind of straighten out here. And then slowly go on to the back. And then we're gonna pause here. And then I'm gonna try pulling both knees in. Movement of the upper back. So we're just going to try to do a couple little yoga sit-ups here. With your feet on the floor, interlace fingers behind your head. Exhale, curl upward. Inhale, let that lower back lengthen out and down towards the floor. So try to press down a little bit, as long as your surface isn't too hard. So you can kind of press your upper back down into the floor. And then on your exhale, you're going to curl up. Inhale, lower on down. Alright, and then we're going to take it into Bandhanasana, so last pose. We're going to let the legs straighten out here. Arms can, let your hands go out from behind your head. And we're going to walk the legs over to the right side. So you're just going to walk your legs, and then you're going to try to bring your shoulders over. The back of the body stays on the floor. I'm going to use my pillow again. But you want your shoulder blades and your hips to both stay down. So it may not feel like you can go very far. We're just trying to bend kind of from the waist. So you're trying to make this sort of crescent shape with the body. And then if you like, you can cross ankles. Either ankle can go on top. So for me, this gets a little bit deeper into that outer hip to cross the ankles. So again, that can go either way. It can be too much or it can be nice. And then you can try to bring, so if we're going to the right, you can try to bring your left arm up and around your head so that it sort of exaggerates that stretch through the left side of the body, and maybe hold your wrist, or if you feel like your arm is sliding. Mine's okay there on the pillow. So see if you can sink down into the floor. So we're gonna make our way. Again, we're gonna try to come out nice and easy. So I know again my hip is gonna be a little unhappy if I move too quickly. So I'm just gonna let, because that was moderately intense for my hip. So I'm just gonna kind of try to come out a little bit by a little bit. Oh yeah. And then just let it settle. Good. I feel that too, like when I've been sitting too long, right? And I get out of the chair and my hips are just like, oh. Okay, we're gonna do the other side. Okay, so again, we're flat on the floor. You can also do it with your feet on the floor and walk your feet over to your left side. That might be sometimes beneficial. You know, let your pelvis move over a little farther, and then you straighten. Getting something there. All right, I'm gonna spin my whole body. So walking the feet over and then straightening the legs. They're kind of already at an angle there. I didn't do that well that time. Okay, there we go. And then shoulders come over to the left. So we're taking feet to the left, trying to take shoulders to the left. So we're bending at the waist, making this crescent shape. And then if you like, again, you can cross the ankles. So I'm going to be trying to be consistent. So I had left ankle on top last time. I'm going to do right ankle on top this time. And then right arm can kind of come over and hook up around your head. And see if we can just sink down into the floor. Looking for all those little places where you can let go of it. this side. Ooh, feeling. Ugh. And we're gonna move here. All right. I feel so much better now. I hope you do too. So just notice, how do you feel? What was that for you today? Was that good? Was it not so great? And then we're going to take a few minutes just to be still. Wherever you want to be. So I'm going to keep my feet on the floor here. Following your breath in and out. So again, maybe just visualize yourself someplace really happy, feeling yourself relax there. a deeper breath. Notice how you are. You can wiggle your fingers and toes. Maybe rotate your wrists and your ankles. You can hug your knees in if that feels good. Rolling to one side. Making your way up to seated. Hands at the heart. Nice full inhale. Exhale it out. Thank you for sharing in this practice today. Namaste.